Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Ron with BridgeCom Systems. I'm KC0QVT, and we are here live in Smithville, Missouri. And I want to welcome you to another episode of BridgeCom University Live as we take this journey together, doing DMR, hotspots, repeaters, all that good stuff for ham radio mostly. We do a lot of commercial stuff as well, but we're going to focus on amateur radio this morning again. And I got an exciting show for you. I think it's going to be a bit more complicated maybe than some of the previous shows, but we're building on this journey as we journey together. And I'm going to take you into some deep water today that I actually did this past weekend. But anyway, before I get started, he says somebody can barely hear me. You might have to turn up your mic, Jason. Anyway, some shout outs. Scott Taylor's here from Orlando. Wayne Lewis in Pittsburgh, KB3 Whiskey Charlie Victor. How you doing? Gary Brainerd in Woodland Hills, California. KB6 RKO. Nick's here, K2NGX from New Jersey. KK4LOY in Tallahassee. Thanks, Lauren. And anyway, yeah, welcome you guys. Welcome you. KD8DLT Dave Nudie. I got something for you, my friend. And I'm glad you're here today. Aiden's here from Carlsbad, KN6EJM. Good morning. Well, anyway, you guys are great, and I'm really glad to be here. We are, I want to make you guys aware, we're doing the Ultimate Ham Radio Giveaway on February 14th, I believe. This one is one where I've really lost my mind. We're giving away a 578 tri-band. We're giving an 878 Plus, SkyBridge Plus dual band digital hotspot, USA International code plugs put in each radio, plug and play for both radios, and BridgeCom University for both radios and the hotspot. We good?
Yeah, I'm just checking your mic settings. You can keep going. Though.
Okay. All right. Also, the HF Zygu G90. Several radios for the accessories. Total value $2,529.98. Whoever wins that's going to be sitting pretty. That's a great package. Like I said, I think I lost my mind, but they said do it. Let's get somebody set up. So anyway, that's going out. Make sure you register. There should be the giveaway link in the for Facebook and BridgeCom or YouTube rather. Anyway, Mark's here from Helena, Montana. Kilo Alpha 7, Uniform Lima Delta, Robin, KD0OZM, Northeast Georgia. James from Georgia, Whiskey Delta 5, Juliet Quebec Echo. William Kelly says the sound is good. That's great. All right. Anyway, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's got a lot of content on there. It's growing like crazy. We're almost to 20,000 subs, so we're excited for that. And we encourage you to like us on Facebook and Instagram. All right, now he says we got too much gain. All right. We'll get it figured out, guys. It's live. All right.
We're good now.
Okay. Okay, he's catching up. All right, cool. Anyway, if you guys didn't catch last week's live stream, I'd like you to encourage you to go back and watch that. Dave Nudie, KD8DLT, and he says he's live. I did a code plug creation for him for an Ohio repeater system. He was having some problems, couldn't get into the repeater. He told me in a DM that evening, he said he went back and watched the recording and did everything. He wiped his slate clean on his radio, started from scratch, and built the code plug like I showed in the live stream, and he's having success. He got into his local repeater. He actually participated in that evening's net. He sent me a recording of it, and you know, it's made my day when he gave me that, because I did that for him, and I'm really excited to learn that. So yeah, Dave Nudie. Sorry about Cleveland. Your team, you know, they tried, but the Chiefs just took it to them. They took it to Buffalo last weekend. Sorry about that, but we're excited the Chiefs are going to Super Bowl. So, by the way, in 1994, I think it was, the Chiefs got spanked by the Buffalo Bills. Joe Montana couldn't get it done, so I remember watching that game. Yeah, go Chiefs. So we But you guys got a good team. You got a good young quarterback, just like Mahomes. So anyway, enough about football. We're Chiefs fans here, though, by the way. So let's dive in. What we're going to do today, and I've got show notes. So hopefully you guys there's a link that should be in the Facebook page. My guy's going to put that in there along with the YouTube. But we're going to follow along with these notes, okay, that I've created, because you're going to want to cut and paste some stuff today. But anyway, what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is a problem that I found. And some people found, like, you know, you've got your radio and you got your hotspot, and as we know, there's multiple DMR networks out there, okay? And oftentimes, you know, the hotspot is programmed or set up to go to one network, and that's where, you know, most of us are camping on. But there's other networks as well. So how do we go into how can we use the radio to effectively steer the hotspot to another network, okay? And that's what I'm going to talk about, because the problem is I got to go into the computer. I got to change all the DMR gateway, and it just creates an additional step that you can't just do it on the fly. But I'm going to show you today how we can do that. So I am going to walk you through the process of allowing you to connect your hotspot to the Brandmeister network, which is a lot of where you guys are, and to the TGIF network, which is a neat network that's gaining a lot of exposure. And I actually spent some time on it this past weekend, and surprisingly, I met 3 or 4 guys from Missouri on there and had some QSOs, and they're real friendly folks. It's pretty active on the TGIF talk group on that, but it's a big network as well. So what you've got here is you've got Brandmeister, which is a huge network, and then you've got another DMR network called TGIF, okay? And, you know, you want your hotspot and your radio, you want it to be able to, like, how can I talk to that one, and then how can I change a channel here and then go talk to to a talk group on there, okay? And that's what I'm going to show you today, is what I learned over the weekend on how to do that. And want to give some props to a gentleman that's got some YouTube function. W1MSG. He puts out a lot of content on YouTube, and I've learned a lot from this guy. So I want to give some props to him, because I learned how to do this from his help. So let's jump into the notes. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to find our hotspot's IP address on our local network, okay? And you can do that by either looking at the screen on your hotspot or going and searching on your network for the IP address. But I'm going to quickly go over here, and I'm already plugged in, turned on, and I'm on 192.168.1.71. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over here into the computer and open up a window, and I'm going to type in 192.168.1.71, okay? And you're going to see my hotspot here, okay? I've already set it up. Okay, so I want to log in to this, and I want to go to the configuration, and it's going to ask me to log in. So as we all know, it's PyStar. Unless you've changed it, the username is PyStar, and the password is Raspberry. I've not changed that, but that's probably what it is for yours as well. Okay, and I'm not going to store that because the network IP address. Okay, so I'm in the configuration page. Okay, so I want to scroll down. I'm already set up for DMR, and I'm on a simplex node, okay, because this is my hotspot. It's got to be simplex here. You can see my cursor. I've got DMR mode selected, so I've already been in there, and I've already set up my credentials, okay. My hotspot frequency is 446.525. I've got my DMR ID, and I often say this a lot. You need to get a DMR ID, okay? If you haven't got one, go to radioid.net, and they'll serve you up a DMR ID very quickly. You need an amateur radio license to supply to them, but they'll get you one. Glenn's a great guy. He's got a nice, he's growing that platform quite a bit lately, and they crank out DMR IDs like there's nothing. Okay, so you can see all my, where I'm located, got all that set up. Okay, now I want you to go down here to DMR configuration, all right? And we want to change this DMR master setting to, instead of where it's currently set up, it's on the Brandmeister server 3102, which is what I'm in the Midwest, so you've got 3101, 3102, and 3103, and that's typically set up for where you are in the United States. Okay, so I'm going to change that. I'm going to go all the way to the top, and I'm going to set this to DMR Gateway. Okay, and now I'm going to apply these changes because this is going to create a, it's going to cause this thing to give me some more options here. So I'm letting it's currently resetting. Okay. And we're going to X out on that, and then this should repopulate. Okay, the changes are applied. Okay, so we're back up. And then we're going to go down here, and all this new stuff just showed up. Okay, but I'm still, the Brandmeister master is still 3102, so that should still be the same for you, and then your password should still be the same. And by the way, you, a lot of y'all, you know, have... hopefully you're aware that you now need to have a password for your hotspot on Brandmeister, okay? And there's a video we've done for that on setting that up, but that's key now. Oftentimes people say, I can't hear nothing, I can't hear no audio. It's not getting back to me. Well, it's probably you need to go to self-care and get your password set up, and that'll fix all that. But that's something to be mindful of. Okay, so we then want to click on the Brandmeister Network Enable slider to enable Brandmeister Network Enable. You'll see that slider's turned off. I want to turn that on, okay? And I think I need to go ahead and apply the changes again, just to make sure. And I'm waiting. This is just, it's actually pretty quick. See, Craig says my hotspot is running pretty hot. It doesn't seem to matter. I had this thing on over the weekend. It's been running for like a week, and it's all good. Let's see what maybe I want to click out of this. Yeah, I'm in the yellow or the orange. Seems to be okay. Okay, so now that's on. Now here's where things get fun. All right, so what we want to do, and this is where I'm going to take you guys into the deep water. All right, we want to go up here to where it says expert. Okay, I'm going to turn you all into experts today. And we want to click this, and this is going to open up where you can actually go in and see kind of what these you know, what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, so we want to click expert, and that's going to bring up this additional page for editing. So we want to go to this where it says here, we want on the full edit line, click on the DMR GW gateway. Okay, so this is going to open up a page where you're going to see a bunch of technobabble. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to scroll down to the bottom of this thing, and I want you to click, and we're going to jump over into the show notes here, and I'm going to cut and paste this where it says DMR4 network. This is all the intelligence to translate talk group IDs that are coming in from your radio and the network so that you can do the translation for the TGIF network. So I'm going to Control C and copy this and go back over to this editor. And I'm going to go down here and Control V and paste this, okay? And then you'll note at the bottom, it says your DMR ID goes here. So I want to make sure I change this to my ID. And that's going to be, in my case, 3129172. Now that's my DMR ID. Excuse me, that's my DMR ID. You want to put your DMR ID. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these changes. And what this does, and again, I don't want to get into the techno details about all this. This just translates the IDs so that it works on the TGIF network. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to apply those. All right. So we've copied and pasted those, okay, and we've applied them, okay. So now, we want to click on the configuration page, and that's going to take us back over here, and we're going to see really nothing's changed in the DMR configuration. But the thing that you're going to want to check out is if we go over here to the dashboard, there should be something different. If you go down here to the lower right corner where it says DMR Master, you're going to see what you used to see was BM United States. That's the Brandmeister server. Now you're going to see TGIF network. Okay. Steve Fisher, where's the text to copy? Go scroll down in your feed there, and you're going to see a doc that you can pull up that's going to have the show notes, and that's where the text is going to be. Okay. We'll also paste that into the you're going to paste that into the show notes of the YouTube when it's published. Okay, so back to this. You should see down in the lower left corner the DMR Master is now, it's got Brandmeister and TGIF networks. So now the Hotspot is aware of both networks. Okay. Again, this is actually available to you guys in the show note or in the text feeds for your either YouTube or Facebook, because we're live. All right, now here's where the fun starts. This should set up the hotspot. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to program our radio. Now I've got the radio set up and I have not messed with it since last time. So we're going to go in and we're going to read the radio, and we're going to start making some changes to the code plug. Okay, so I'm going to right click on version. I'm using the 878 Plus and the latest firmware, and CPS is 121. Want to run as an administrator. Mouse is lagging a little bit. Do I want to make changes to the? Yes, I do. All right. Okay, so I want to read the radio, point 1. Well, first of all, let's just make sure my COM port's set. I know I'm on COM 3, there we go. And I want to read the radio. All right, now these are the channels that I created last time, and you'll see that I've got the, now this was to talk on the local repeater here. Now I'm going to make some, Steve says it's not in the show notes. Well, it is. I mean, unless you got the wrong show notes, my friend, I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully the show notes should be 1/27/21. That's today's date, and it's on page 2. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys can follow along. Page 2 of the show notes is where the all that DMR network. Okay, so we have a bunch of channels in here from the previous live stream, but now what we want to do is we want to create new talk groups for the TGIF network, because the talk groups that are currently set up for, like, for example, the parrot and the disconnect are going to be different. And I'm going to show you what we need to do. So let's go over here to the digital section, and we've got this contact talk groups list. Okay, and now these are talk groups that I made for the previous live stream to talk on Brandmeister. Okay, so we're going to create new talk groups for the TGIF network by putting a 5, the number 5, in front of the talk group number. So for example, a private call of talk group 9990, which is the parrot on Brandmeister, is now going to be 509990 on TGIF. So let's go ahead and create a new talk group for that. And I'm going to call this TGIF parrot. All right, and this is again a private call, and its talk group number is going to be 5009990, and I'm going to make that here. I'm going to create a talk group for the disconnect, which is going to be I'll call it TGIF disconnect. Because you might go from a one talk group to another, and you want to make sure you disconnect from that. That's what the disconnect's for. It frees up the resources, but it allows for you to free up the hotspot so that it won't continue to stream. It won't continue to stream the information. Okay, so this is a group call, and it's going to be 500-4000. Okay, and then we're going to create another one for the TGIF, and I'm going to call it TGIF, because I want that talk group, and that's going to be a group call, and it's going to be 5031665. Now, if I was just talking on TGIF, I would just make it 31665. But since we're doing it this way, we have to put that translator, the 5, in front of it. Okay, and keep in mind, I just learned this stuff this past weekend, so you know, I'm not. I'd like to say I'm a you know, I got it figured out, but and it does work. I've tested it, but I want to make you guys aware. I'm always open to learning more. In fact, there's a bunch of stuff in here that I'm still exploring as well. So let's see. I want to make sure I got this right. Okay, well, I think we're good. Okay, so I created these talk groups for these 3 groups that I want to work on. Okay, so now I want to go up here and I want to create some channels. All right, so I am on a hotspot that is receiving and transmitting on 446.525. So let's go down here, and on 17, I'm going to create, let's go here, let's create channels for each new talk group, TGIF talk group. So let's call channel 1, let's call it TGIF parrot. Okay, and it's transmit, this is 446.525, 446.525, and it's in simplex mode. Channel type, I'm going to make the transmit power low. Color code's 1 and time slot 2. Now let me tab over to the, how you know that. If you go over here to DMR repeater, see the color code's 1 and the time slot 2 is enabled, okay? So that's where I got that. So I'm leaving that there. Now let's change the contact, call it TGIF parrot, and you can see that. All right, so there's a channel. Now I'm going to right click here, copy. I'm going to make 2 more. And I want to leave all this the same. Well, make that low power. All right, and then this is going to, we'll call this one TGIF disconnect. And I'll change the alpha tag. Okay, and that's color code 1, time slot 2. And let me double check the power level on that. I thought I changed that to low. Hotspot's right there, so I don't need to blast it. Low. Okay, now let's copy this again for another channel, a 3rd channel. Oops. Let's copy, paste. And I'm going to call this TGIF. I'll just call it TGIF. Okay, I'm building this on the fly for you. I didn't do it for this radio before, so this is all, it's color code 1, time slot 2. Good. All right, so I got those 3 channels. Now, I want to create my channels for my hotspot for Brandmeister. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to create 3 channels for Brandmeister. Then I'm going to make the same channels except, so I'm going to copy my parrot, except instead of TGIF, I'll do for the sake of Dave Nudie in Ohio, I'll add his Ohio statewide in there instead. So I'm going to copy that, okay, and I'm going to paste Okay, same channels and frequencies. And the only thing I'm going to change is the alpha tag. I'm going to call it Brandmeister Parrot. And let's already have that. And then I'm going to change this to Parrot. It's a private call. Okay, that's all I want to do. And this is going to help me create. So I'm going to copy this, paste that. I'm going to call this Brandmeister Disconnect and change the contact to TG Disconnect and click OK. And then I'm going to create, I'm going to copy, whoops, I didn't want to do that. I just accidentally cut it. I want to have to create that again. Wait, did I cut that? No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, well that's cool. Okay, so now this is going to be, I'll just call it Brandmeister, Ohio. Oops, why did it disappear? All right. Low power, digital, talk group, going to be Ohio. Root call. We'll do that. All right. So I've got three channels for the new TGIF and 3 channels for Brandmeister. The TGIF is going to do I'm going to do the Parrot. You always want to use the Parrot. Then I have a disconnect, and then I actually have a special talk group called TGIF. Okay, they have a ton of different talk groups, but by way of example, we're just going to use TGIF. And of course, you could add this, add more talk groups as your understanding gains. And then of course, I created 3 more channels on Brandmeister for the Parrot, the disconnect, and Ohio statewide. So now what I want to do is I want to create a TGIF hotspot zone and a Brandmeister hotspot zone so that I can differentiate these two. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to zone, and I'm going to create a new zone up here, and I'm going to call it TGIF HS zone. TGIF HS zone. And I'm going to put those 3 channels that I just created for TGIF in the zone. So I'm going to put that one in there, the disconnect, and the TGIF. Okay, that's a new zone. You must put your channels in a zone or you won't be able to see them on your radio. So let's create another zone for the Brandmeister zone. So we'll call this Brandmeister, HS for hotspot. We'll just call it the zone. Okay, now I'm going to put these 3 in here: Parrot, disconnect, and the state of Ohio. Okay. Now I got 2 new zones in the radio: TGIF hotspot zone and Brandmeister hotspot zone. And now I want to program the radio and test it. All right. I'm already good. Okay. So I'm going to program. I'm going to write to the radio. Writing to the radio. Okay. Should be good. It's restarting. I don't know if catch the, there you go. Left a lot of that the same. Okay. All right, we've restarted. I'm going to unplug the cable. Remember, we got to unplug the cable. We can't hear anything. Okay, put that over there. All right. So it came up with the zone, and you want to press the up and down button here in the middle to change the zones. So we want to go to this zone. That's the Brandmeister. Okay, so going up, okay, go down. See all these zones I just put in there. So there's the TGIF zone, hotspot zone I just put in there. And there's the Brandmeister hotspot zone. And they default to the Parrot, as we saw. Okay? So we want to test this. All right? So now I'm just going to pull this off the stand there. And we are idle. And so let's go over here to the dashboard. and see if I'm crazy. Okay, we're already on the dashboard, so it's not going to change it. All right, so I'm going to hit the Brandmeister parrot and see what happens. KC0QVT, and you can see the dashboard there.
KC0QVT,
All right.
You can see the dashboard there.
Yep. Okay, so that's Brandmeister. Now, I'm going to change zones real quick to, I'm going to put this back over here so you guys can see it. I'm going to change zones real quick, and I'm going to go over to the TGIF parrot. Okay, now, this is where we're actually steering the hotspot to another network. This is what should happen. I should be able to key up, and it says I'm getting a signal. Okay, I should be able to key up and tell the radio should tell the hotspot to go from here to over here, because right now I'm on that. So I'm thinking if I let me just go back to Brandmeister. Okay, I'm not connected to any net. I'm looking at my. It says I'm idle, so there's nothing going on. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to the parrot. Now, here's. Okay, looks like some traffic's already happening. Yeah, he's right. I'm looking at the thing. Okay, so let me see if I can hit the parrot, because I don't think my hotspot's geared towards that yet. So let's just hit the parrot real quick. KC0QVT, and you can see there. Fine. I don't know if. Okay, let's try it again. I think you have to wake it up. KC0QVT. Talk group 99. All right. I hope I'm connected to TGIF. We can find out though. Let's go to last heard. Let's just see if it happens. This is something you guys can check out later and see what's going on. See if it. I've noticed that if I cause the hotspot to go to TGIF, it seems to take a bit of time for it to actually start flowing traffic. I don't know what's going on there, but I've noticed that it's got to sit there and bake in it, if you will. But now we can find out what's going on. There's this thing called last heard, where you can actually look and see what's happening on the network. And it should be able to tell me if I'm connected. And then of course I can go over here, KC0QVT. Okay, I don't see me coming up. I may not. Now I can go over here to self-care. It says my hotspot's behind the firewall. It might take a bit of time to get it to connect. Okay. All right, so there's a lot of activity on their network right now. KC0QVT. I mean, I'm getting in. Let's see. Yep, and it is translating. And somebody's coming in, so it should. Okay, KE8LDT is talking. So here, I'll tell you what, I'll go over to, I'll change it over to TGIF network. See what happens. So, because it said somebody was keying up on that. This is KC0QVT monitoring TGIF.
You're loud and clear over it.
Okay, I am actually on their activity page, so I got in.
Coming in loud and clear, and 31665.
Awesome. KE8LDT. Oh, by the way, let me make a comment. When I meet somebody on the air, I'm sending you a card. So I'll get that gentleman a card. Let's send him out. Yeah, KE8LDT. This is Ron, KC0QVT. How are you doing?
Ryan? Yeah, your radio sounds real good. Coming in loud and clear.
All right. Okay, I got in, and I'm on their network now. Yeah, thank you for the comeback. I'll let you go, but thank you for the audio check. And so I'll get him a QS.
Hey, Ron. KE8.
I'll get him a QSL card. I don't know if you guys are doing that or not, but I've been doing it recently. I was encouraged to do that, so I send one of these out. I know it's kind of old school, but why not? You know, I know you can do it all digitally. So, okay, so we're on the TGIF network. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect from that. I'm going to be over here. So if you want to show the radio, then I'm now on the TGIF disconnect. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. And that should free me up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Brandmeister node. And I think I'm going to have to, let's see, KC0QVT. I think you have to key into it once to get it to go over to it. So now it should key up. Or KC0QVT.
KC0QVT.
Yeah, it seems you got to do it once to wake it up and get the hotspot to shift to the next network. So now, what I'm going to do is I've got these 3 channels here, so you can see this. I'm keying up over here. I'm going to I'm going to hit I'm going to go to Ohio statewide and see what's going on. KC0QVT, monitoring Ohio statewide. Anybody copy? Somebody did. He kicked in real quick. K2NGX.
Sure.
Okay, there's somebody going on. Let's see. Hey, this is KC0QVT. This is Ron, K2NGX or N8CQO. Anybody copy? Hopefully I don't create a big old pile up.
This is N8CQD.
Okay. N8CQD and then of course KN2. He's got some transmission loss, big time. KN2. N8CQD, this is KC0QVT. How you doing? I'm in Smithville, Missouri. Got some snow on the ground this morning. It's a beautiful winter day here in Missouri. How you doing in Ohio?
How are you doing in Ohio? Doing very well here. Very good. Name is Bill, and right now we are in Greenville, North Carolina. Doing very well. It's kind of rainy here, but really good. Yeah, how are yours now? N8CQD.
Okay, Bill I think's got some. He's monitoring in his. It looks like he's got the speaker going too at the same time.
K2NGX on Ohio State.
Okay. K2NGX, this is Ron, KC0QVT. Thanks for the comeback, my friend. K2NGX. Yeah.
Not a problem, Ron. Yeah, I'm watching you guys on Facebook there.
Oh, cool. All right, cool. He's watching at the same time. This is great. Anyway, this is what you do. This is how you.
QVT, this is KV8DLP.
All right, right on. That's Dave. KD8DLT. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Or KE8DLT, I think. Is that Dave? I might have screwed that up. It's KD? Yeah.
Ron, doing good. Just sitting here at work watching your video, trying to stay warm. You're sounding really good into a while here.
All right. Hey, are you on the repeater?
Negative. I got to use a hotspot. Where I'm at now, I'm on the outskirts of the repeater, so it'd be hit and miss.
Okay. Oh, good. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad we could help you out the other day, walking through that training that you now can hit your local repeater. That made my day, and I'm glad you, you were there. So anyway, thanks for the comeback on that. Anyway, I'm going to let the channel go here and finish up, but thank you so much. So.
Looking to you, 7.3 is KD8DLT.
All right. Well, anyway, folks, that's it. I trained you. You know, there's a training on how to take your radio. If you notice, I'm going to turn the radio down so I don't get interrupted. But you know that the radio is right now. I was talking on Brandmeister, but before I was talking on TGIF. So I did not have to go into my hotspot and rewrite it. I'm now talking on two different networks. So that was really cool. And the problem, again, the problem was you would have to go in and change your network settings. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to just steer this thing. So there you go. That's how you do it. It's just cut and paste that DMR code. Make sure you put your ID in there at the bottom, and you're ready. So anyway, I'll field some questions if I can. And
earlier when you were making channels, Bill 28200 asked why 446.525.
Okay, Bill's asking about 446.525. Okay, that's an arbitrarily chosen frequency that we set the hotspot for in this case. Okay, it could be 446.500 or something like that. You just want to choose a frequency pair that is not going to interfere with your maybe another hotspot or another repeater in the area. And it seems like the consensus amongst hotspots is to camp around this 446.5.6 area. The only thing that I've heard over about that area is you just want to make sure you don't interfere with some UHF or 70 centimeter satellite activity. And again, it could go down to 2 meter. The hotspot in this case is dual band. So, but we just chose that arbitrarily. So just want to make sure you don't interfere with anybody else. Okay. Okay, Paul asks, so anytime you want to talk on TGIF, you add 500 to the talk group. That is true, or 50. You want to make the talk group number 7 digits long. So you want to not append. You want to put 5 and a 0 preceding that, and or a 00 to get it to the 7 digits. And what this does, as best as I can understand, is it causes the hotspot to translate what comes in from the radio and then what comes in from the network, so that it's all in agreement. The 5, it's just telling the network, hey, look, this is or the hotspot is telling it to, hey, look, I need you to remove this or add this to the talk group information that's in the DMR packets that come across the network. I'll be honest, I don't understand a lot of this. I just know it works. But you've got this source and destination, and you're basically rewriting the talk group. So it works, and it works on the range of talk groups. So anyway, that's what you do. But yeah, you want to just cut and paste this information into that DMR gateway. And that's how you do it. I don't know, you know, I don't know much about what's going on behind the scenes on all this. I just cut and pasted it, and it works. And I know that, you know, sometimes we want to know how all the nuts and bolts of everything works. And I mean, I just didn't take time to learn a lot of that. I trusted the gentleman that I learned this from, and he's like, this is what you do, okay? So anyway, Nick Goldman, I did 4 on mine because I'm on network 4 in my config. You know, I don't think it matters whether it's network 4. I think what really matters is that translation table for network, in this case, network 4. So that's what that's about. So I don't think that matters whether it's 4 or if they have to be in agreement. So, any other questions?
David had a question. I noticed some D-Star-like configurations available when he was looking at the hotspot configuration pages. Are these hotspots capable of D-Star as well?
Yes, most of these hotspots that are coming out nowadays, they can do multiple modes. Now, I'll go over here to the configuration, and you can see this. When you turn on MMDVM host, you can set up the various modes. You can turn this hotspot on DMR. Like right now we're doing DMR. You could do D-Star, YSF, which I believe stands for Yaesu System Fusion, P25, NXDN, and various types of, looks like translations, YSF to DMR, YSF to NXDN, P20. Yeah, it looks like there's some additional stuff. I have not done a lot of those down there at the bottom. I've done D-Star and YSF. I've got those kind of radios. The other modes I've not experimented with, and nor have I done any kind of what I'd call interoperability, where you can go from where the hotspot, if it receives a certain mode, can out and talk on another network. We're going to continue this journey together, and I'll work on experimenting with that. I know that I'm kind of dabbling with what's been known as DMR Plus, which looks like it's some sort of like a Swiss Army knife type all mode creation. But I'm not even going to speak to that because I don't know a lot about that yet, but I'm learning as well. So yes, the hotspot can do several modes. Okay, Dave Simmons, interesting. There's a D-Star reflector here in Florida that has some nets I like to participate in, so that's interesting. Yeah, there are nets that have all sorts of modes. The Southern Link, which is a live stream we did a while back, these guys, I showed you how to connect to that live stream. That network, or that net accommodates everything. DMR, analog. Yeah, check that out. It's a net. It's a multi-mode net. So we good?
Yeah. John Mickler says hi.
Hey, John Mickler. He's a great dude. Check out his website, mickler.com. A lot of good stuff on there if you want to know about all kinds of different radios. He's doing a bang-up job reviewing all kinds of stuff. And yeah, we've met him a couple times at Dayton, and he's doing a really good service to the amateur radio community, providing good reviews on products and stuff that we all are enjoying. And he's got a lot of helpful content on there as well, mickler.com. So check him out. Also, check out our YouTube channel as well. And we got a lot of content on there. Subscribe, we invite you to. You'll get updates. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And then, of course, we're on Facebook. I want to really quick make a comment. I know you guys are, we've been struggling to accommodate a lot of you all with support. I just want to let you know, we on Monday added 2 more techs to the company. And I'm committed to your all success. and I've got 2 guys just getting started. We're definitely handling the calls, and so that's my commitment. I want you guys to know that we're not just sitting around. We're getting busy, and it's because of you guys. We want you to be successful. So I invite you guys to enjoy the live stream. By the way, there was another concern about me going too fast with these, you know, that I'm speaking tribal language, if you will, to a lot of you guys. There's no intent on that, and I understand a lot of this is new to everybody. So what I'd like to suggest is, you know, you can go into YouTube and watch these videos, and there's a gear icon in the lower right corner where you can actually adjust the playback speed. So if you want, you can turn this video down to like 0.5, and it still maintains the audio quality, or you can even adjust it even slower so that you can, you know, grab onto it. I don't mean to talk too fast. I'm very mindful of your time, and I want to make sure the content's well covered. So I'm trying to talk as slow as I can, and I also you know, want to make sure you guys get this, because I mean, this is new to a lot of people. I mean, we're blowing this thing up. I mean, it's new, and a lot of folks are getting on DMR and enjoying these hotspots, because one of the things about these hotspots is that the repeaters are never down and the bands are never dead. I mean, you can go out and meet all kinds of people. I've met so many people on the air, and you can just sit back and listen to what's going on. There's all kinds of traffic. I mean, you obviously need to find out where the traffic is. And there's live streams in the past for that we've done, and we'll touch on that. But it's very busy, and it really rejuvenates AM radio for a lot of folks. So I know I'm having a good time. Well, I'll wrap this up and say 7-3 to you guys. Thank you for participating, and I welcome you to next week. We'll have another live stream at Wednesday and with some new stuff. So with that, 7-3.